Hey guys, Infidel 1258 here. I am looking at some acquisitions. I'm looking at spending some DC because there's some card prices here that are ridiculous. So let's go over to Peak Monsters, my preferred marketplace for Splinterlands. And if you ever wonder why, still see comments like why Peak Monsters, why not a different search engine. I find that it's the most successful, the most accurate. It's got the most tools. It's the most um, powerful tool that is out there. It's far better. Most people know Splinterlands and just using that marketplace, but this thing is so much better. And so, I mean, first things first. I'm accumulating DEC through renting my cards. And that is getting a little bag here. I got $175 or 240,000 DEC here. And I'm getting, if I want to rent all my cards, I'm getting 30 to 40,000 DEC a day. And in the very near future, I think I'm going to be trying out some new rental technology with with Peak Monsters, which I'm going to be excited to, I guess, show and demonstrate and, report back on the profitability with those tools. But that's not for this video. This video is just a shopping good. I haven't gotten a bargain hunt in forever, and it's starting to feel like there's some opportunities, whether it's buy and use, like to build up, to shore up your own deck, whether it's to buy and invest for like the long 3, 4, 5 year wait period, which is always, in my opinion, amazing, especially with those really, really like 1 cent penny cards, is like always something I'm deeply interested in. Or lastly, even monster flipping now is starting to feel more and more possible, more and more attainable. That's because the market has relatively stabilized. Now, DEC price is fluctuating, and that impacts the price of the cards we're buying and selling. But it seems to me that the market itself has relatively stabilized, with, of course, fluctuations that even during stability, there's fluctuations. But I mean, and then to think too that they might actually be burning Chaos Legion packs makes it pretty interesting to think through some of, for instance, the Chaos Legion legendaries. Oh man, there's just so many threads to pull on here. There's so many reasons why now might be an interesting time. There's so many, whether again, shore up the deck, long-term investment, or even monster flipping, because that's becoming the stable market allows for some of that. I just think now is the time to be looking. And then I look at these prices on the Chaos Legions when I feel that proposal will likely pass. And then you click on Chaos Legion, you look at legendary, and look at this Desert Dragon, which is actually a fine card, especially in certain contexts. Melee from any position, you throw that in the back, and it's going to be able to get some tramples and some serious damage. I find it's really successful, and it's down 23%. Or how about Bakjira, which in my opinion is the modern day cube, and you only need 11 of them, meaning to get max level. So you're talking 60, 70 bucks to get a max level Bakjira. Legendary, huge hit point pool. That kit is so helpful from even like a support when if you're using a taunt in the back lines. I forget what it's called. The water has that taunt archer, and you can put that in the back lines. You put this beside it, you get the self heal. So if there's any blast damage, Bakjir just eats it. You're going to slow your enemy, giving it, and that's always a beneficial thing. So man, very affordable card. And cube, which is neutral, is quite a bit more. But mind you, need a lot more copies of cube too. Actually, let's go see what cube's selling for these days. It's not a Chaos Legion. Cube, 40 cents a PCX. You're talking 150 bucks. About tripled what I just quoted you for that Bakjira for a max level. You don't necessarily need max level, but I would argue it sure is a lot more powerful. If you want to equivocate this with the Bakjira, I'm saying you probably need to get up there to that void, because that's one of the key things that's going to give you some even more sustainability. This card is, you guys know this card's nasty, and it's super cheese. You hate to lose to it, but you need to have it. And Bakjira is a modern day cheaper version. Mind you, this is neutral and Baktir is not. This is reward, older reward, and Baktir is a chaos. But man, whether you're looking at the legendary specifically, whether you're looking at regular foil or gold foil, whether you're looking at alphas and betas, holy cow, man, there's just bargains at every corner. And man, some of these cards, Chaos Dragon, Adelaide Brightwing, some of the best, Carnage Titan, even Queen Massilia at $10 a BCX. That's maybe a bit high for me right now. But how about Grandmaster Wraith at $20? Like, again, Legendary Summoner. I think this one's exceptional. And you're talking $200 for a max level Summoner. When we know that some of the printing is not going to happen due to, well, we don't know that. But if the pack burning again, right? So I don't want to fixate on that because that's speculation at this point. We don't really know if the packs are going to burn. But man, we do know that some of these prices are down. We do know that some of these cards that are quality. In fact, I really like the Ifrit Rising. I mean, just a max legendary card for $12.60. Kind of hard to say no, man. It really is. But here's the problem. I already have a ton of copies. That's the thing too. You have to balance. You don't only have so many resources, so it's always a balancing game between those three things. You want to shore up your deck? Great. That's awesome. What are your holes? Fix them. You need new summoners, you need new tanks, you need new supports or carrier cards. Okay. Pursue that. Is your fire team hurting? Here's a legendary that could really help you for really, really cheap. I like this card a lot, especially in the rule set where it's back to basics, because you lose your recharge and then you're just a regular magic monster with 3 damage output and a good amount of hit points. And fire doesn't necessarily have a lot of those. Fire has, of course they have decent magic, but it's not necessarily the case that they have tons of. Djinn is powerful, but he has way less hit points. Techno Wiz I like a lot, also way less hit points. Inferni is a beast, way less hit points. Elder is definitely in that same ballpark of high hit points and decent. I think he does 3 magic at the highest levels. Yeah, so he's got 10 hit points, so he actually has 2 more hit points and the same amount of damage output, maybe a little bit faster in the speed department also, and he's fewer mana. So Efreet Elder is probably a better choice if you're really just looking for what I'm discussing. But man, for $12 a max level legendary versus this is going to be like 80 or $90 because you need 115 copies times 70 cents, 80 cents. So that's a huge difference. So, when your legendary cards are the cheapest options out there, something's not quite right. And I think in part that's the recharge, but I think recharge is really getting slept on. And I saw a post from Yuki, who's Time and Attention, and he's one of our boys, and he created a post talking about the rechargeability from the new the Earth Splinter, Sude Shaman, and he was demonstrating how recharge with Giant Killer and Rust, it's a nice package, especially on this team, on the green team, where you can kind of control your opponent's attacks with, for instance, taunt. But you can utilize taunt well with the fire team also. But the thing about the Sude is that he can get the obsidian summoner magic buff. So I would say Sude is better than that legendary from the fire team. But man, again, we're talking probably $40, $35-$40 for a max copy, which is a good deal. This price has gone up ever since Yuki was commenting on that. But man, this is a good card and very tempting. But the thing is, it doesn't solve what are the 3 criteria for going shopping? 1, I improve my deck. This doesn't help me. I already have that. 2, a long-term investment. Yeah, this is where that would fit in. It would be this cheap, inexpensive legendary monster that I would theoretically hold for many, many years, months at least, and possibly see either rental opportunity in the meantime, or delegate to a second account and thereby create some winning potential within those other alternative accounts. But primarily speaking, the goal with this would be to just be speculating on this card and saying like a legendary for $12 is just not normal. And if you want to look at all legendaries and just ask like how many of these are $12, this is the second cheapest legendary on the market from that have, oops, my bad. Look at this. 1, 2, 3. And arguably this is a bit cheaper. But it depends how many units you want. If you want to buy a max copy, this is cheaper. If you want to buy an individual copy, this is cheaper. They both have the recharge. Jin, Bilka, and Harklaw are, I think, going to be staples in the future. And so that's another thing. Like I'm almost tempted to come in and buy 100 copies of each of these. And just sit on it. Because I think those assets are going to appreciate significantly. I really, really do. Man, I've done that. I've got tons of copies of these. It doesn't feel exciting. So what else can we do? Well, let's take a peek around at some of the monster flipping opportunities. That usually needs you to look at some of the older cards. If you go beta, promo reward, maybe even untamed. And we're going to want to scroll down a little into something that like a main, you're going to want to look main tanks. Something that's, you see a lot, you see played a lot. Tidebiter could be an interesting, probably too new. Tidebiter, and there's no copies, no combined copies out there. Fluid King has 1 million. I wonder if Fluid King is running a bot army. Yup, he is. Spoiler alert, he is. Still love the Dimension Shark. Nope. I'm looking for certain price conditions. I've done videos on this before, so I don't want to beat a dead horse, but you want to look for price stability and then one aberrant card that's listed for significantly cheaper. You look at this one, it's like 165 BCX and it's for 26 cents each. And then this guy's going, oh, I could beat that. But he doesn't have any reason to beat that. Like, if he has 5 BCX, he should be more marketable because of the BCX. He doesn't need to beat the price, but he's in a hurry. And so being in a hurry is your opportunity. That's what you want to find. But here's the problem: is the margin's not significant enough. We're talking the difference between 26 cents and 24. So it's not, even though that's the general premise, you need a 20 to 50% margin before it's going to really be worth it, because you're going to be spending that value and then sitting on the asset. Look at this one, 28 cents for this one, 28 cents per, and you could relist for 33. No, you'd have to buy this one too, I'd say, to take it to eliminate your competition. That's the thing with the market being as small as it is. With some of these cards, you can actually manipulate the market through purchasing. If I was to come in and buy this card and this card, I'm immediately changing the floor from 28 to, for a low BCX card, I'm changing the floor from 28 all the way up to 33. And then that, you maybe could say that would be enough of a margin. No, not for me. And I'm going to say that you have to remember you have a 5% fee too when you sell. Focusing on main tanks is the best. The first sort of line. This could be interesting. 36 cents. Flip it for 40. Nope, not good enough. Here we go. This is interesting. Look at this. 47 cents, 47 cents, 47 cents. They're matching. These two just thoughtlessly matched. I think Elevator sold or listed for the same price as Fitz here, and AO4 is a bot and just matched Elevator. And so this price is actually too low for these low BCX cards, and this is a good card. Now it is a wild only card, so that means it's applying to a certain audience and not everybody. But I think land's going to come around, and that's going to change the interest and the desire and the need for some of these cards that are older. And then that's again speculation. So it's, earlier we talked about Is it going to shore up my neck? No, because I have this card. Is it going to be a long-term investment? I think so, because of reasons like land, but also, is it a short-term flip opportunity? Yes, because of the price point. 47 cents could be bought and relisted for, I'm going to say 65 cents. In fact, I'm going to buy them both. I'm going to buy them both. I'm going to relist them both for 65 cents a BCX. So look, I buy 23 units. Hang on. I buy 13 BCX on the one card, 23 BCX on the second card equals 36 BCX total, and I'm going to relist them. And I'm going to sell them separately, but this is just making my math easier. 36 BCX times, I'm going to say 65 cents. It's a $23.40 sale if I sell them both. And I'd be spending $17 to buy them. So I got to take $17 away. I'd be making roughly like a 30% profit if I buy them both and I sell them both for 65 cents. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And, you know, maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. But we're going to give it a shot. We're going to give it a shot. And then we're going to go right away. We're going to go while we're thinking about it before we forget. And that's a card that I like. I like that long enough. I like a long term. You don't want to do that sort of trade or that sort of purchase on the assumption that the flip is going to work. You need to be okay with holding it. And I am. I say to myself, if I keep that, I'm going to be happy with that, because for the land reasons I outlined earlier, the speculation for the possible future price appreciation. Okay, so set manual price. Cancel to do them. That I could do them both at once, and I think there might be a way, but let's see. Sell. This is what I wanted to do, right? Oh no, this is what I want to do. Okay, so I'm going to cancel. I'm going to grab them both. This is what I want to do. Grab both. You go sell. Then you go relative plus or minus percentage BCX price. No, that's to sell them at the lowest level. Cancel. So look, 23 units. We want to sell them for 65 cents each. 23 times 0.6. You could. I'm going to do 6.9. So 1587. $15.87. If that card sells, it'll practically pay for both of my cards. This one, we're going to do 13 units. 13 times 0.9, 897. So that's a monster flip. Now it might work, it might not. I think it will work. It just might not. It probably doesn't happen overnight is one of the things. And I am still interested in some cards. Like I can shore up my deck. We talked about that as one of my interests. There are cards like this that I could really have. I could use more of. And for you talking for 2 cents, my dude. Yeah, we're gonna need that one. Please and thank you. Man, see the thing is, like, these are just so good. They're all. Just eating up some of these rares. Some of these cheaper rares. And then, let's go check out some Rift Watchers. That's another way I could shore up my deck. Some of these Rift Watchers are pretty legendary, pretty amazing, and I don't have enough of them. My summoners are a bit low. The price has been falling on Scar. He was 550 last I looked. What about Bernhardt's been stable around $4, but I've been kind of talking about him a little bit, and that's never a good thing for cards to go down. Corsair Boson is one that I think is really special, and I really love it. But and $1 feels a bit high. It does, because we haven't even really seen enough packs being sold. I'm gonna just be patient on that one. This buck keeps falling. I've heard some of my trusted officials on the Time and Attention team just saying they don't see the value in this one. I still think Dragon plus phase, and I think there's going to be monsters that will be 6-7 speed at times. There's going to be more swiftness. There'll be more blind. That all leans into making a team really successful with this one. But if I'm being honest, if it was between this or Skargor, I'm going to spend the $5 here instead of $4 here. Aquata is really getting crapped on, and I haven't seen anybody really playing with this. So if you're interested, I'd say be patient. Same with Dahlan. If you're interested, just be patient. I don't think they get the love that they maybe deserve long term, and so, but I could use a couple more of these probably. See, here's the thing. I don't need them today, so let's just go ahead and make a bid. I wouldn't mind, let's say 10 copies. Oh, no, that's wrong. I wouldn't mind 10 copies for boom, $41, and then we just see what happens. So, I mean, I want to do even more. Oh, we didn't buy these ones. Those are those odd rares. Yeah, man, I want to do a lot more than that, but I'm trying to be patient too. I don't see a lot of reason to just kind of go crazy. I think the Rift Watcher cards are going to continue to go down, at least for the foreseeable future, because more packs are coming online. Chaos Legion is actually more interesting in terms of like a short-term opportunity because of the nature of what might be happening with Chaos Legion. If you need to shore up your account with legendaries from Chaos Legion, now could be an interesting time to look at that, because if 2 million Chaos Legion packs eventually get burnt through the proposal, that won't hurt your prices. Let's put it that way. And we come back to Ifrit, man. I don't need it, but not very expensive. I don't know if I don't think I've maxed out my fiends yet. I don't necessarily need them, but they're not going to hurt. You're not going to regret having your fiends up in order. Any substantial epics? I mean, some of these cards are amazing, and these prices are really affordable, really reasonable. The high bid is pretty close to the low buy on the Grund. That's always an indicator that the price, that the desire is closely matching the sell pressure. Like the people, they're getting close. They're not far apart. Not 20%. They're not double. If they're double, that means that there's not a lot of demand to purchase it. If they're getting close like this, it means the buyers are getting kind of eager and almost reaching their way up to the sell pressure, or to the sell numbers. And then when you get this, this is like a real strong indicator. It's like pretty well the exact same price. Tridon is a powerful card for one BCX in particular. I'm looking for steals. I'm not so much looking for cards that are that really, do I want that? Yeah, I do want that. I like this card a lot. Oh, but yeah, we haven't looked at golds either. See, that's the thing. there's just so many angles to play, right? There's so many things to be interested and excited about. It's hard to really, it's hard to, you can't get it all. You got to make some calls. You got to like think through what would be helpful in the like in this moment for me, and then just make a move. I think I already have a max level of Knight, gold foil. This could be interesting, but he's got commons. I need 38 of them. Still pretty tempting. Such a good card. Make a bid. Make a bid. We'll go 2.7. We'll try and buy 5 of them. And I've got some juicy bids out there now. I've picked up a few cool cards. I don't want to necessarily rush to spend my money. If it just keeps getting bigger and bigger while DC is growing, that's not bad too. But I hope this video just goes to show that one of the ways we make money with this game is by thinking through how could I improve my deck in the meantime. Like right today, there are little things I could do to help me win more, but simultaneously, while you're in that marketplace looking for those opportunities, you can explore these other these opportunities, like the price appreciation angle or the flip. And it can be one shopping experience that allows you, and sometimes a card will fill one or more of those niches. It can be a card that helps you now and you can play with it, but simultaneously, if it could have future price appreciation opportunity, and even it can be flippable. And so it's possible to find cards that fit all 3 categories. And those are the ones you really want to, I guess, snag if you do. Do I want those Fungus Fiends at Efreet? This is the thing. It's hard to decide. I mean, it's $30. They're not bad prices, but that $30, I'm going to say no right now because I've got some bids in on some things. I want those to come through. And yeah, guys, I hope you found this interesting. If you did, let me know in the comments below. And I'd appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. And I hope you guys have an amazing day. God bless.